Welcome to What's in My Backpack, the show where we talk about adventures and how we get there. I'm Connor.
And I'm Shauna, and we're going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to make your trip the best it can be, wherever you're going.
And make sure you stick around, because at the end of the show, we're going to reveal What's in My Backpack.
We'll also be talking to Karina, someone who has a ton of travel experience under her belt. She'll be sharing with us her tips and tricks on how to have a successful, stress-free journey, whether you're going for a few days or even a few weeks.
We'll also chat with her about her upcoming trip to London, England, and how she's preparing for that.
Now, one thing to take into consideration when on big trips, to make sure you have everything sorted out for the airplane you're taking, if you're taking one. Now, I love air travel. It's one of the biggest conveniences in modern technology, being able to jump across oceans in a snap. And when you get that small chance to go to Ottawa in 40 minutes instead of packing up and slinking your way through 5 hours of traffic on the 401 while everyone in the car endlessly asks how much time till we get to stop, flights truly mean relaxation and convenience. Except the process of getting on the plane is the real hassle. You've made it to the terminal, and you've got your boarding pass, and you're well on your way. And then it hits you. That line of security of others who forgot it was there or just don't want to be there. Your eyes longingly look over to the Nexus Pass people getting through so quickly. Then you realize you have all your toiletries all over your bag, so you start rummaging through them, hoping they'll all fit into that small plastic bag provided. You get to the front of the line, and then you start unloading your belongings into the bin, hoping that you can pass through the gate without being that lucky person who gets to be the random search. The key to making it through airport security with speed and ease is to remember you'll be going through it. So be prepared. Set aside time to get through before your flight, and organize your bag so it's easy to pull different things from it. Dress simply. My teenage self will miss her chains and studded belt, but it is way better not to have to spend 10 minutes taking off all of it and placing it into the bin, while everyone stands impatiently waiting for you to go through multiple times as you forget another metal accessory. Just keep it simple and comfortable, since you'll probably be sitting in those clothes for quite some time in the clouds. Most importantly, just remember to be kind and listen to instructions, and you'll be off to your gate in no time. But make sure you just don't forget your ticket in the bin.
Well, Shauna, not everyone can afford to take a plane when they have to travel. Airplane tickets can cost a whole lot if the trip is a little bit shorter or you're trying to pinch a few pennies. You can take the bus instead. Within Eastern Canada and the United States, you can find cheap tickets through services like Megabus. On Megabus, sometimes you can snag a seat from Toronto to Montreal for $1. Tickets range from $1 up to about $60. Once, I paid just $30 each way to go all the way from Toronto to Washington, D.C. That's compared to the $380 that it would take to fly round trip to D.C. Now, there are some downsides to taking the bus rather than an airplane. Most obviously, there's the difference in time. A flight from Toronto to D.C. is about an hour and a half if you fly nonstop. A bus from Toronto to Washington takes just about 13 hours. So if you have the time, great. If you don't have the time to waste an entire day on the bus, then you'd best be splurging on that flight. On the airplane, you have an attendant who's there to answer questions, serve food and drinks, etc., etc. But on a bus, all you get is your seat and sometimes a power plug for your laptop if you're lucky. No one's there to feed or babysit you, so make sure you bring your own snacks and activities to pass the time. Air Canada may have a video service where you can watch movies or TV shows on your flight, but Megabus has nothing of the sort. Make sure you bring lots of books, your laptop, and patience along with you on the bus. And lastly, bring your comfiest clothes possible. Maybe a pillow or two. The seats on those buses aren't always the most comfortable, and no one's going to judge you if you make a small pillow fort pajama party in your own seat. But just make sure it's not overflowing onto the seat beside you. So now we're here with Karina Kresick, who's a Ryerson student and world traveler. Welcome. Come on in.
Come on in.
So next semester, Karina sets off on a 3-month exchange to London, England. Thanks for coming on the show.
No problem. Yeah, welcome. So what is one thing you always bring with you when you travel?
Your passport, of course.
Right.
And make sure you have a photocopy as well, because you never know in case you lose it. But my mom always told me, as long as you have your money and your passport, you're good to go. 'Cause
Right.
You can buy anything you want over there.
Right. So have you ever had any like disaster situations or anything go wrong while you were traveling?
No, but my aunt and uncle did. They were on their way to Vietnam, and they had a connecting flight from Ottawa to Toronto. And on their way to Toronto, they lost their passports.
Oh, no.
So to go to Vietnam, so they were there at the airport for like 5 hours trying to find it, and it ended up being on the flight that they had left. And they made their flight, thankfully, though.
Oh, that's good.
So just always have it on yourself.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
why you keep the copy.
Yes.
How do you plan? Plan?
I make a lot of lists to like clothes, especially to make sure you have everything you need.
Yeah.
And I pack. A good tip for packing would be to like roll up your clothes in your suitcase so that everything fits. And you can even put like stuff in your shoes to make room for that, because we all know packing shoes is kind of the hardest thing.
Right.
So would you consider yourself an overpacker or underpacker?
I'm definitely an overpacker. As much as I try to be an underpacker, it's never gonna work out that way.
So of your many trips, which one has been your favorite so far?
I went to Croatia with my family a few years ago, and that was a lot of fun. But the most challenging was probably when I went to Peru for 3 months. Packing for that was really difficult.
Right. And what were you doing in Peru for 3 months?
I was volunteering for 3 months with a soccer school, and then I also did a teaching program.
Oh, fantastic. Cool. And was that through any sort of program? Or
Yeah, I was with a program called Projects Abroad, and they organize everything for you, and then I was with a host family for 3 months. So,
Right.
yeah.
Wow. That's what is something that you would tell people if someone just asked for one good piece of advice? What would be that one piece that you would tell everyone?
Be open to anything and be prepared, and like make a list of things to do and try anything, because you never know what could be exciting over there and different from over here.
Take risks.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on the show with us. And so now we're going to get to everyone's favorite part of the show, where we get to see what's in my backpack. All right, so here.
So, today we have an exciting thing. Today's backpack item is trail mix.
We're gonna make some trail mix, and you can help us out with that.
So, trail mix is an important thing to pack every time you travel. It's good food to keep you fueled, whether you're on a hike in the mountains or camping in your backyard. Trail mix is a fun snack packed with lots of nutrients and fuel to keep you going.
So you can put a lot of different things in your trail mix, and there's endless possibilities of what you could do. We have some different ingredients here, but you can go to your bulk food store and get anything you want.
Or even Loblaws and grab different things.
Yeah, for sure, and put them all into a resealable bag like this. Something that you can push all the air out of. And you also want to make sure that when you're getting snacks, not to get stuff that's too crunchable. So definitely avoid things like popcorn, because they'll just break right up.
Just squish those down.
Well, you could if you're
a good packer, which you are.
Yeah, you
if
could
you're
definitely
me
put
and you
popcorn
put your
in.
shoes on top in your backpack, that's just gonna get ruined. So we get some nice hard things.
So
like
definitely one thing
candy.
that's always good in trail mix is candy. Have some
Candy.
sugar in there to make sure.
My scouts
keep
like
you-
to call their trail mix M&Ms with obstacles. So, you know, you gotta get the color and
So
the fun in there.
I'm gonna start with some obstacles in mine. I'm gonna put some peanuts in mine.
I got some M&Ms because I run right to the fun stuff.
And here.
I'm gonna get some of this.
Yeah, we have the candy Lego, which are
Lego.
good too. Cereal's good because it's filling as well too.
Yeah.
It's get the cereal that's good to
It's
snack
really good
on.
to get some dried fruit because you get a lot of nutrients from that, and that'll keep you going. So we have raisins and dried banana chips.
We also have dried pineapples and papaya bits as well too.
Also very important is getting all your nuts because they're full of protein and they'll get you going. So walnuts, pecans, peanuts, everything in there. You just gotta mix it up and you'll be well on your way.
So that looks like all we have time for today. I'm gonna fill up my bag a little bit more, and I think
Yeah.
we are as well too. So make sure you tune in next week, where we're going to chat with nature expert David Suzuki.
He's gonna talk to us about how to travel the Greenway and reduce your carbon footprint. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on
What's in my backpack?